Welcome to another edition of the Urban Influencer. I am your host and producer, Finesse Demps of Soul on Soul with Finesse. And you know how we do. We're going to bring you the independent artists, the movers and shakers, the artists you want to hear from and you need to hear from. And today, this guy is no stranger to the Soul on Soul Urban Influencer brand. He's always been around. I like him because of his grind. Not only his music, but his grind to get the music out there. New Yorker to the street, to the fullest. My man Bey Bright in the building. What's going on, baby?
Finesse, what's happening, bro? Man, everything is great, man. It's good talking to you once again. Soul on Soul, Urban Influencer. We here, baby.
You know, my hustle got to match yours, so I feel good when I'm doing stuff and I see you doing stuff. I know I'm doing it right, baby. So how are things going for you as an independent artist?
Oh man, 2022 has been another banner year for the bad boy indie soul, man. I mean, let's take it back. We're in December right now, so if I take it back to January, came out the box strong with SN4 Music Beats and Life, which was an extension, or I should say is an extension of Soul Nostalgia, my whole brand, my style of music. Went #1 on the UK charts, #1 on Amazon. So I got the nice little plaque for that. So songs like Sure Shot, He Can't Love You, and Hey Girl, More Than Friends is the one I'm pushing now. So it's been a banner year, man. Just made a cover of the December issue of the Urban Sentinel magazine. You know, my folks that see me on social media, they'll see that issue is coming out next week, but I did get the cover ahead of time so, you know, I'm picking up steam, bro. So between magazine covers, #1 records on the independent soul charts between the US and the UK, it's been great, man.
You know, I really want to take it back. Let's go back to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're no different than any other artist that's been out putting music. We all went through COVID.
Yeah, man.
Soul on Soul Finesse, the Soul Media brand, the Urban Influencer brand. We all went under COVID. How did you maintain and continue to grind?
I maintained by staying in prayer, keeping in close contact with the loved ones, but then it gave me a time to just kind of recalibrate and get a lot of ideas, man. So within that 2020, when it really kicked off, I think it was like March 2020, I put out Soul Nostalgia 3. So I've been hustling since the COVID situation, man. It's like I put out two EPs and said 2 #1 EPs that I'm proud of. So I just been using the time to stay focused, stay in touch with loved ones, but then let the creative juices flow. You know, when you can't really go out much and, you know, you kind of confined in a space, it gave me time to bunk it down and just be writing, thinking of musical ideas, you know, and that's how it played out, man. So it was a time for reflection, recalibration, and, you know, forward success, because again, what came out of that, the fruits of the labor was, you know, I'm a proponent, you got to use idle time wisely. You know what I'm saying? So as a businessman and an entrepreneur, I'm always looking for ways to strategize. So that, just to answer your question and wrap that up, is it took me that time to really look at what I can do to project my future projects. And it was a major coup for me, because that time allowed me to create and put out some nice projects that the people love. So that was what it was, man.
All right. We were talking to Bey Bright, Urban Influencer interview today. Bey, one of the things is you're a great hustler. You're a great example for independent artists that's really out here trying to control their own future. But what tips would you give somebody that's in this business that's maybe not seeing the success of fruits like you are, and they can? So what tips would you share with them?
You know what's funny? I'm gonna take that time to plug, and I'm gonna give you an answer, but I forgot to put this out. I put a book out, man, for all the independent artists that's looking to do what I do and even take it even further, called The Indie Hustle. It's a do-it-yourself music business book to learn how to put your music out the right way and get paid. So for all y'all are looking at this, check out my book, The Indie Hustle, on Amazon, Kindle, and you can find out how I do what I do. It's a business book. So my point that I put to independent artists is, let me use one of the things. You got to have a budget. So let's just start with the money. You know what I mean? Everybody's creative. Everybody can go on SoundCloud or YouTube. But when you're doing it in a space and you want to be relevant, you got to know how to market and manufacture, get your music heard. It's not enough just to put your stuff on Instagram, on YouTube. You got to have a marketing idea and budget. So that budget is crucial, man. Don't go in the studio, make a bunch of records, and then they just sitting there and you just put them on SoundCloud. But I always say, if that's what you want to do, if you don't really, but most people do music with the intent of getting it to the mainstream as much as they can. You understand? So my thing is, take 2022, going into 23, look at your finances. If you can partner, leverage resources, leverage relationships. That's the thing I always say, try to leverage your relationships. So I like the way that sounds. In 2023, leverage your relationships along with having a budget. That's what I would say.
I wanted to discuss this with you. You are a great person to ask this question, because a lot of us radio folks that are down with the urban influencer, we've been having this discussion back and forth about whether or not artists should release music constantly, or should they marinate and take their time releasing music and really pushing their music out to the masses.
Right.
So I'm on that end. I don't think artists should be releasing new music all the time until they really exhausted the music they've already got. Because if they didn't hear your old stuff, why they want to hear your new stuff? What are your thoughts on that? If I'm wrong, come on, Bey. You can tell me, bro. Am I wrong?
No, I'm gonna tell you, you're right and you're wrong. And because I'm like you, and the reason why I'm even wrong, because that's what I did. I'm gonna give you an example. I told you I put out SN4 Music Beats and Life at the top of the year of 2022. I had 5 records. I usually do EPs because I don't want to oversaturate the market. But in staying true to what you're asking, More Than Friends is I released that as a single right after Thanksgiving. Okay. I have new music coming top of the year. Okay. However, I said, you know what? This More Than Friends joint is so hot, and people heard it, especially overseas, because what I do is I go overseas and then come back home to the United States. But people was like, damn, some people don't even know I had that record. Some people who follow me know. So to answer your question, you got to kind of milk what you have, but don't milk it too long. So I try to do somewhere in the middle every couple of months. So I put the EP out at the beginning of January of 2022. Here we are in December. That's a long stretch. However, for music, remember back in the day, albums used to get milk for 2 years, but we're not in that space. So that's where I'm going. So I understand what you're saying. The reason why I said you're right and you're wrong, and so was I, is though I could milk SN4, I started with Short Shot, went #1 on the Urban Influencer R&B Soul chart. So shout out to my man Marv Mack and his team. We did some good things with the Short Shot record, shot right to the top. And that was the lead single off SN4. But then I just didn't do nothing with it. He Can't Love You was a single that I put out late 2021. I shot a video for, but then I put it on SN4 when I decided to make an EP. You understand? So those records were floating around. More Than Friends is out now. So I'm doing what you suggest, kind of milking the project at SN4, because it went through Europe. I have a big fan base there, and it kind of went there fast. They picked up on some of the records. But in the United States, because I'm independent and it's a different way of moving and grooving over here in the States, you don't really get to hear some of this stuff. So I was like, well, shit, nobody heard of More Than Friends really to my liking. You know what I'm saying? And it's blowing up right now for me. But I got something coming in January that's a fresh new thing. So I'm mixing it up, Finesse, man. I'm mixing it up. No, that's a long, convoluted answer, but the truth is you got to find a happy medium. You don't want to be throwing records out every 2 weeks, but you can't really wait 2 years anymore either.
Right. And I'm not even saying wait 2 years, because I get you got to independent, your grind got to be different. But the folks that are releasing music like every 3 weeks or twice, every 2 months. Ain't
That's
nobody
too
even
much.
hear the other stuff.
Nah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm not with that. But even a year, man, let's say, like I said, if I do now, if you're doing, see, it's all about your strategy, and I vacillate between this. Am I just going to do singles? But then I get greedy, I start getting the bug, and then I do 4 or 5 records, and then I say, oh shit, I got an EP. So let me just put that joint out. You know what I mean? But if I just stayed single oriented, then what you're saying, I could do every 4 to 6 months, as opposed to, waiting every year or something like that. So it's just about how you want to do it. My preference, really, I'm always going to stay single to EP related. I don't believe in doing albums anymore. I just feel like
anymore. I get, and I really grew on that, because I hate EPs, because artists, and you're different. You're going to give me 7 records that are good.
Right.
Most artists don't give you good music, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, and I mean, but that's been my hustle. I'm gonna give you 5 to 7 bangers, like undisputed. That could be, any of them could be a single, or most of them could be a single, I should say. And that's just my personal belief. I try to give. I'm all about quality over quantity. That's my thing, and it's been working for me.
All right. We're going to take a break, but before we do, Bey, can you share your website and your social media with folks?
No doubt, man. So you can reach me on Instagram at brightvision29, brightvision29. On my website is beybrightbve.com. That's beybrightbve.com. Bey is spelled B-E-Y. And on Twitter, Bey Bright NYC. Facebook, Bright Vision Entertainment. And if you know me like Finesse, go through him and connect with me on Bey Bright, my personal joint.
Now you're gonna have these people blowing me up all the time, but I got you. I got you, baby.
I feel you on that. I feel you.
So when we come back, I want to talk to Bey some more about releasing in the UK versus US, and what can independent radio, what can Black radio do better in order to get the independent artists on their stations. So come on back. It's the Urban Influencer Soul on Soul Finesse interview with my man Bey Bright. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Soul on Soul Finesse and the Urban Influencer. My special guest, my big homie Bey Bright, is in the building. Now, for you folks, you want new music, you want to see what's hitting the charts, make sure you visit theurbaninfluencer.com. Got all the charts up there, the UK chart, the soul charts, the hip hop chart, the gospel charts, the gospel hip hop charts, something I've never seen before. And you got to check out the latest, because it's blowing up, Southern Soul. Make sure you check it out. That website, once again, is theurbaninfluencer.com. And you can also follow them under the same thing on all their social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now, Bey, before we went to break, I said I was going to ask you this question. I know you had time to think of it, but there seems to be this thing where our soul artists are releasing their music overseas, and not releasing it here in the States. And I know the stigma, because a radio, and we're talking terrestrial, there's a difference. Terrestrial radio is really not trying to hear y'all, because y'all not spending no money. But there is internet radio, and I think a lot of times a lot of artists forget about independent internet radio stations. What can we do better as collectives to get your music and to get you on our platforms?
That's a great question, man, because again, I don't want to use the word guilty, but I definitely, my strategy had been to go overseas and then come back to the United States, because of the fact the support wasn't there from the mainstream commercial. But we know the game, like you said, that's a money game. Everything is a money game. Truth be told, it's just about variations of the money, of the bag, as they say now. However, to answer your question, top platforms like Soul on Soul, like, me and you, we built a relationship. You have what I call a high-end branded independent radio station that crosses the internet. But the reason why I was very interested in working with you and your platform is because it's on a level. So when you ask me what can we do, I think the independent radio stations in the United States need to build up their brand, mix it up. I'm all for being mixed in. We have to be judicious. So let me go there, meaning I don't want to hear just Bey Bright and other people, quote unquote, in my same lane. I think that if I'm good enough to cut my teeth to be in there with Stokely, Mesa, Johnny Gill, people have gone independent. You know where I'm going with this? I like the way it works best is for the major artists that people have known through mainstream and terrestrial radio in the US and around the world. As they've gone independent, mix them with the Bey Brights, the Tangeray Haywoods, people like the Cornell Carters, the Carmichael music lovers. You understand? Those are folks that I shout out, that I've listened to their music as an independent. Go, well, they really doing some big things and on par with what I think I'm doing from a quality standpoint. So the way it works for me is you guys continue to build up your brand, mix it with traditional, well-known artists and the top independents. I think you have to kind of not throw all of it in, because I'm going by human psychology. When people listen to a lot of unknown music all at once, they're not going to really jive with it. They're not going to connect. People need to feel like, oh damn, you can hear Maxwell, Johnny Gill, Stokely, Bey Bright, Mesa, John B. You know what I'm saying? Drew Hill, Drew Hill has gone independent. You know what I mean? Rough Ends have gone independent. They making some great music out of B-More. So that's what I would like to see. People like the Urban Influencer, Soul on Soul, do a collaborative connection with the names you know versus some of the names like myself that you're getting to know. And that's how we do. Look, and if from my perspective, hey, if I have to help finance to get your stuff built up, because like I said, this is all business for everybody. You guys are doing a great job, but it's not, you can't do it for free forever. You need help. So if I got to do a little advertising, a little marketing and promotion, that's where it goes back to the budget. Hey, let me work with Soul on Soul, Urban Influencer, and we then help each other, and it grows and people start to know about us, and it looks and presents well globally. You understand? Excuse me. People look at it, they got to look at it, they got to look official. I'm big about image, man. It's like you got to look official, because if it looks sloppy, people are going to be I'm going to check out Sirius XM. I'm going to check out WHUR, New York, WBLS. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. That's it, bro. That's my answer to that. Whatever the independents like myself can do to help contribute to build your platform, if it's worth it, we do it. That's how it is.
I appreciate it a lot. Another Urban Influencer appreciates that as well.
Sir.
My other question to you is, because to some people, it may seem like you're on the grind and you're only about self, but I know you like to work and collaborate with other people. Right. How do you answer folks when you hear them mention you as not really looking out for anybody else?
Well, I've never heard that. That's new to me, but if I did,
my ears to the street, bruh. I hear.
Oh yeah, is that what you're hearing? Let's talk about that. You've heard? Okay, I'm really. That's great. So tell me exactly. I'm gonna follow that up, but tell me what the streets are saying again. That I'm all about. They say self?
Because you always talking about you, really? And they don't understand that's your brand.
Right.
And then you really say no one else. But I know you work with other people and always asking to work with other people. Right. So I want you to address that in your own words, so that people can hear that, so that part can change.
All right. So anybody who's ever listened to me and knows me and listened to my interviews, they know I'm all about collaboration, because I believe that no one man can do it by himself. So I'm always, I started in a collaborative mode. If anybody knows my catalog, I'm always bringing in. So the record I got, More Than Friends, brings in a young lady named Izane Norum. She went on in London. The first thing I heard her say, they told her that they wanted an interview, and they said, well, the first person I ever heard from you was Bey Bright. You understand? So I'm like, I'm always giving back. Nia Simmons, Blaze, Anissa Hargrove, these are people who have their own stuff, right? But I look to them, put money in their pocket, and like, we help each other. My thing is, because I'm a hustler. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing and producing these records, but I'm a good marketer, in my opinion. And it's like, I love those ladies' voices and their hustle. So that's where we come together. So to answer your question direct, I don't know where that misinformation is coming, because I'm always paying people to do what I need them to do, because I feel it's a win-win. I'm all about the win-win. However, it's about the spirit of cooperation. So let me speak to where some people might say, well, Bey is all about him. I don't have a lot of patience for a lot of negative energy. I'm just going to put that out there. I think I know what I'm doing. And I think the record has shown I know what I'm doing. I'm over 1.5 million streams across all platforms, solely independent. I'm on covers from the UK to the United States, magazine covers. I mean, you're not getting that unless people really respect what you do. I got 15 consecutive top 10 UK soul chart hits and independent United States hits, 15 in a row. And that spans a couple of years now. So you talk about from 2016 to 2022. So when I say it's not about me, but it's about me branding myself, and I would encourage everybody to make it about them and collaborate with others. You know what I mean? When I see your stuff, Finesse, Soul on Soul, that's a you thing. You know what I mean? You might be working in conjunction, collaboration behind the scenes with others as well, but you're branding, and I know you, and I applaud you. I'm like, yo, that dude Finesse, he got a little flavor to him. I love his platform. You got a brand, man. It's like Deion Sanders. He's branding himself. You know what I mean? And those who don't understand marketing, they not going to get it. So that's my answer. That's a long-winded answer, but Bey is for the collaboration. I'm always paying people. Can't nobody say Finesse, you know, Bey jerked me, you know, because you get a lot of that, man. You know what I mean? He took my vocals. He ain't do me right. Nah, I got receipts. Anybody come with that crap, I'm going to be screenshot. You know what I'm saying? Here go the money. Here go the date and time. And the thing about it, I want to touch on something else that I think, and I'm glad you having this because it opens me up to speak about it, because sometimes I keep it all in. I think sometimes, truthfully, some artists get rubbed with me. They never said this, but because I do everything, there's really nothing for them to do. Now, if they have an idea that I think works, I'm all for it. But when I'm spending my money and I've created something, I just believe in my track record, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I sit back and look at everybody's work, everybody. I don't care if they've worked with me already. I'm talking about those people and others. And I look at the success of what they do without me. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it 100. It's like everybody has great material on some regard that I've heard, but I trust me more than I trust anybody as far as on the space that we're at based on results. It ain't an ego thing with me. It's about, if I'm putting out records and Finesse be like, most of that shit is garbage that Bey is doing. Marv Mac is garbage. Chris Clay, garbage. You know what I mean? Dave Dickerson over at Sirius XM. I've had my records placed on every one of y'all's platforms. And I've had conversations with every individual say, yo, Bey, you got something. And I see that, and that's what I go with. So when I'm working with artists, I'm like, you got to show me what you bringing to the table. Now, you can sing, but can you write? Do you know how to vocally arrange? You understand? And that's where, can you produce? So back to the main point is, I think people feel like, well, it's Bey Bright featuring. And I've been kind of salty on some people because I feel like they don't help promote the records that we do together. And I've been there. And I think that if they're being honest, they would probably say, yeah, well, you wrote everything, you produced everything. It's not my record, it's your record. My thing is, well, if it's my record, I wouldn't put featuring nobody. You understand? I would just say it's me. And I'm glad this is going to get out there, because I'm kind of talking to everybody. If you're doing a record with Bey Bright and I wrote and produced it, you're doing a work for hire. I think when we're talking about business, people don't understand the business. And I see that most people are more in tune. And I mean, maybe this is just another psychology that I have to learn. I had to learn. Most people want to do more of a collaboration where they want to write, help me produce it. And that's fine if it sounds right. But what we don't have time is, I'm in major studios. I'm not doing shit from the basement. You understand? When I go into that studio where I'm paying that kind of money, it got to be right. And everybody's ego need to be put to the side. Now, I don't have a problem with somebody saying, Bey, I don't like this word here, this word there. Can we change it? Yeah, okay. That makes you feel comfortable. We could do that. But then it becomes, if you say, If I say I want to say 2 and you say and, do I owe you writers credits for that? You know what I'm saying? That's where it gets tricky. And I'm gonna be, and I mean, these are the kind of things that break up everybody. It's always about the money and the popularity of the record. It's always about that. Who owns it? Who gonna get the shine? My thing is, and let's keep it a buck, Finesse. I haven't really done too many collaborations in the last 2 or 3 years, other than with one person, which is Easy, because sometimes I feel like, well, if people feel a certain way, I'm gonna start singing my own records. You understand? And see, and truthfully, shit, I kind of, people doing me a favor when they say, "Oh, but babe, I ain't messing with that." I've been having a lot of success on a solo artist tip. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's truth, man. And this is gonna sound braggadocious, and I love it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because I'm glad you're having this conversation and you answer that, because on Monday's meeting we had with the radios, that conversation actually came up, was about how come more artists don't support each other. And you answered is in that. You answered that. And that's, you get a lot of people that take it personal when they see you doing more. You listen, bro, I hear people talk about so on so with Finesse all the time. And I'm petty. So everybody watching this interview, I'm being honest. I'm petty. So when you come for me, I'm gonna make it even better. I'm gonna find something else to make you hate me even more. So I'm glad you answered. I'm glad I asked the question. You know I ain't scared to ask no question.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm glad, because I'm very transparent. I want to put something out on Front Street, and I hope she don't mind me saying this. I work with a girl named Blaze. We have 2 bangers. We got something called Feel So Right that I got a Billboard plaque. She, we did that collabo, but I wrote, produced it, but it's featuring her. She's the voice, right? And Special. Those are 2 of my biggest records in my catalog. But we haven't really had any real interaction since 2018. And I felt something went wrong. I don't know what happened. This stuff gets real petty. You know what I mean? And I think based on what I'm just explaining, I felt I was in my feelings about some things, because I felt, again, I feel like, well, damn, I'm going through these records with people and nobody's helping me promote them. You've been paid, so it ain't about money. But I just think that some people feel like, well, it's all about Bey, and I'm not promoting the record because I didn't really write on it. You know what I'm saying? But I wrote her and I said, yo, Blaze, I want to apologize to you if you felt I've done anything to you. You understand? Because sometimes I got to take a step back, because I'm an aggressive person. I'm a nice guy, but I'm a real man. I'm a G. You understand? I'm just going to keep it real. I'm like, I do what I do. You know what I mean? And I try to do right by everybody. But I apologize just because maybe I offended you that I'm not aware of. Let me know. And her response to me was, took me a minute to get back to you because I don't really know what you're talking about, right? I take her at her word. She's like, I don't know. Do we have a problem that I'm unaware of? And I'm like, well, there were some things I was feeling that maybe you may have been feeling some things, but this happens. And only thing I can pull from Finesse is, well, everybody might think, well, it's all Bey. It's all his stuff. I don't get to write. I don't get to produce. But I'm thinking this is just how business works. Like, hey, I got an idea. I want to pay you for it. I'm not really looking to sit down with you and like hash it out. That takes a long time. Everybody's doing what they do. I'm a very mercurial guy. I got ideas. I know what I want. You with it? And some people have told me, nah, I ain't with it. Oh, I don't like the record. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll come back around with something different. So let the record show, Finesse, based on what you had with your ear to the street. This is me wrapping it up with this part of it is, hey, man, I'm not perfect. Somebody may hear something from me, not like my vibe on it. All we got to do is have a conversation. You feel me? This is like,
there you go.
The way it grows is for all of us to come to the table collectively with cool heads, check our egos. People ask me, Bey, what do you think is going to grow this? Everybody's ego has to be checked because we all got one. And I'm not going to lie. I'm watching them, they watching me, but then it becomes Finesse gotta determine who's really hot. Because me and an artist can fight all day thinking we hot, but you the radio programmer, you the program director. Guys like Marv Mack who do this for a living. I can be out here Bey Bright, woo, woo, woo. But y'all gonna be like, yeah, that's all right. That's lukewarm or that's garbage. And the same goes for all the other artists. So then it becomes less about what we think and what y'all think. and then looking at those charts, I got a lot of number ones. You know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm doing something.
All right. we gotta cool off, but I'm gonna end it like this. Don't come for Bey and don't come for Finesse anymore.
Don't do it.
Keep our names out your mouth.
It is, no doubt. If you got a problem with the Bad Boy Indie Soul, holla at me and we can work this out.
That's right. We can do it how you want. Oh no. Let me stop. When we come back, when we come back, we're gonna talk about More Than Friends, which I told Bey 2 years ago was a hot song. Didn't I tell you that?
2 years ago. It was only ain't even a year
20.
old yet. Huh? No.
2020.
More Than Friends. More Than
All right,
Friends.
2021. You right.
Yeah,
you right. All right. Yeah. So I still told you, right?
You told me, I think you was talking about Don't Stop, and I didn't release
I said that one too.
Yeah. But More Than Friends, you did say 2021. You were
track.
like, that's the one. And that's why I said, you know what? Let me push that out of there a little bit more.
All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about that one. Soul on Soul with Finesse, Urban Influencer, and Bey Bright. You already know how we do, baby. We keeping y'all soul connected. We'll be right back. Woo! We had to drink some water, some lemonade, some ginger. Last segment was hot.
Yes, sir.
If you missed it, all you got to do is hit rewind and catch up. We'll have it again. Sitting here with Bey Bright, Urban Influencer, Soul on Soul with Finesse. Let's talk about More Than Friends, which I love this song.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? To be honest, I look for songs, especially when there's collabs. I always like to see what the female does. The female killed it on this track, yo. Talk about the record.
Let me tell you, man, More Than Friends. So anybody who knows me and my brand, soul nostalgia is my thing. So More Than Friends is an extension of when I say soul nostalgia, I'm just trying to make contemporary R&B with an old school flavor, with a soul nostalgic vibe. So More Than Friends, when I think about my favorite groups like Atlantic Starr, Cameo, those types of Rick James, I just wanted to get to that old school late 70s, early 80s, that can function vibe. So when I hear More Than Friends, I feel that with the way that I produced the record. But Iman is a longtime collaborator. She's like one of my favorite, if not my favorite, independent vocal artists. I tap her. She's out of Denver, Colorado. I just think her voice is phenomenal. So when I wrote it, I was like, she helped me on Don't Stop. A lot of y'all love Don't Stop from Soul Nostalgia 3, but for More Than Friends, I tapped her again. I said, I hear you on this, baby. I hear you. She was like, all right, send it to me. And when I say I sent her the lyrics and she sent me the reference, I was like, whoo. I said, you one take, shake and bake, baby. I said, you are phenomenal. So More Than Friends is a record about, hey, you got a girl, a lady friend, a guy friend, could go either way, depending on who you are, and be like, man, we friends, but I want to be more than that. It's really self-explanatory, and I wanted to give it that old school flavor, and I think we knocked it out the park. So shout out to Iman, because like I said, between that record and Don't Stop, she's just been killing it for me. So I appreciate it.
I gotta give it to you. The lyrics are wonderful.
I appreciate that. And again, I'm a songwriter, producer, singer-songwriter, producer, and a lot of times I'm a groove-oriented guy. But with More Than Friends, I really wanted to I love the title because I thought people, in R&B and all rap, it doesn't matter. It has to resonate with the masses. So I try to make those types of records, but I took my time really writing that one. And I'm glad you said that, because even they said, "Bae, I love the writing on this." Some of the artists, they'll say to me, well, they really like the words. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm just, I'll write something, but if it's a groove, it's a groove. But this one, I appreciate you saying you like the words, because I think that's what helps it stand out along with the production.
So will there be a video for this?
Probably not, man. As part of being an independent artist, man, that's a major hindrance, because trying to get everybody in the same space and the money that it takes to make the right kind of video. Like, I'm looking at the landscape. I've stopped making videos. My last video was for He Can't Love You. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very happy with that video, but I tried to get it on the major platforms and I got shut down, because when you go to BET and all that, you do see some independents out there, but they have a little more, I guess, whether it's relationships. I go through major brands, but for whatever reason, it didn't work out. And you got to be, here's another thing for independent artists. You got to be real careful just shelling out money, because even with radio, you can give somebody a bag, you can give them 10, 25,000. What would you going to get, 100 spins? You know, that ain't good enough for 25 bands. You know what I mean? So with the video, I try to make things where the music speaks for itself, and maybe I can make a short, like YouTube has shorts. You know, you got to get creative with it, Instagram. So I've been doing what you call music visuals to these songs, creating my own little thing. So the answer is, it's not going to be a video, but there are shorts. So you can check it out on my YouTube, Bey Bright official YouTube page.
All right. So short little plug, coming soon, ISO TV. We're going to be concentrating on music videos for music artists. So in other words, get the music video done, son. We got you.
All right, yeah, we the platform is there. You know, we can do it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't like spending thousands of dollars and not getting
no airplay.
It just don't work for me. I got to be very fiscally sound with all this stuff.
I got you. So what I want to do here is allow you the opportunity to introduce More Than Friends, and then we're going to get into that song and be right back and wrap everything up.
All right, this is Bey Bright, the bad boy of indie soul, with my record More Than Friends, my latest single, out everywhere music is sold and streaming, from SN4 Music Beats and Light. Check it out.
And it's on the charts at Urban Influencer. Urban Influencer, Soul on Soul Finesse, Bey Bright, More Than Friends. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's me, Bey. You know, I've been wanting to talk to you about something. I don't know how I really wanted to approach it, because, you know, we've been friends for so long. And I don't want to make things weird between us, but just hear me out, baby. I wanna know what you feel, girl, when we're together. Do you feel the same about me, how I feel about you? And after all this time, real talk, gotta tell you the truth, girl. I wanna be more than friends. Girl, it seems as though we've been knowing each other a long time. And if I'm being truthful with you, what's crossed my mind, I was afraid that if I told you, girl, you wouldn't believe me. I want the truth to be known, girl. I wanna be more than friends with you, baby. 'Cause being without you drives me crazy. wanna be more than friends. I wanna be more than friends with you, baby. Wanna be more than friends, girl. Cause being without you drives me crazy. Being without you, girl. Don't care if the world thinks it's shady. Thinks it's shady, baby. No, I want you to be all mine. All mine. Ooh, yeah. Wanna be more than friends, girl.
Man, I love hanging with Bey. Man, we gotta kick it, man. We gotta hang out. But you know what, Bey? I got something for you.
What you got, man?
We are working on having these mixers
Uh-huh.
to bring independent music artists and radio stations,
Mhm.
photographers, videographers,
Right.
independent magazines together.
Mhm.
So we want you to come through when we do the one in Baltimore. We want you to come through and do an autograph signing and
Oh,
maybe
for sure.
do 1 or 2 songs. We'll
That's
talk
dope.
about that another time, though. All right.
All right. Hey, man, I love it, man. I want to, before we wrap it up, Finesse, I want to thank guys like yourself. I want to thank Soul on Soul and all your team, because you guys been supporting me since at least 2019 that I know about. You know what I mean? Maybe before that. I want to say what's up to my man, Marv Mack. I know you out there somewhere, urban influencer. Thank y'all. We went #1 with Vibe. We went #1 with Short Shot. So y'all been very supportive over at the Urban Influencer. I appreciate it. Terry Bello, what's up? And everybody worldwide, I always give shouts to the UK because y'all made the Bad Boy Indie Soul, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. If it wasn't for the UK, I probably would have just walked off a cliff by now in frustration, man, because they showed me that I can do it. And I take it home to the United States now. So shout out to all of the music programmers, the directors in the United States, because y'all are finally catching on to everything that we are doing as independents. And I appreciate y'all putting me in the rotation because it means a lot. I know y'all got a lot of music that y'all got to cipher through. I try to give y'all quality and give y'all the best of me, whether it's through these interviews, whether it's through the music. And I just want the world to know I appreciate everybody, man. That's real sincere. Happy holidays. I love y'all all.
All right, Bey Bright, Finesse here, and of course the Urban Influencer. We out of here. You know the routine. It's the same soul channel. It's the same soul time, and it's with that same soul host on another time. Keeping you soul connected. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Hey. Yeah. Give me a little time. I know I'm gonna be always on the grind. You think I got you just hanging on the line, playing with your mind, wasting all your time. But if you could see inside, you would know you are my lover. You're the reason I trust every season's for us. We don't need to give up. Just give me a little time. That's all I need. I need patience. Patience. Ooh. I need patience. Patience. Ooh. Give me a little time. I know we're stressed, it's a mess, not our best, but we're fine. Cause you're the one I flaunt, everyone could see everything I want, everything I need. Don't switch sides. I need patience. Patience. Ooh. I need patience. Patience. Ooh.
go dummy, Kyle.
I got a mansion in heaven forever when I make it home. That blood money ain't no other price, I ain't selling my soul. Them blessings falling every day, I wake up, I can't count them alone. They fascinated by the money, but I'ma be walking on gold. Running up souls like a check, I be aiming at demons, ain't no respect. I remember when I was down living a mess. Keep that Bible on me cause this life is a test. I be praying different, moving like it was chess. And my gang different, Holy Spirit gon' flex. On that kingdom business, I ain't taking no rest. Ducking seeing shorty taking off like a jet.
From the A to the shot, boy, we a threat. We coming straight at they neck. They capping, they flexing, they capping, they flexing. They know they ain't living like that. Swerving my lane, you might wreck. Too many just talk, but we step. Beyond all measures, stop dying for pleasures and treasures that's gon' get left. Yeah, you got a mansion on earth when you make it home, huh? That's cap. You ballin', ain't stressing, you flexing. Your money long, huh? That's cap. Ain't worried about nothing, ain't lacking, cause you keep that chrome, huh? That's back. Tell me what all of that matter when your body gone, huh? I got a mansion in heaven, been serving these streets like quick trips and 7-Elevens. Pulpit official, but I ain't no reverend. Hosanna the highest, I give him his reverend. The body of God, my walk is the evidence. Streets made of gold and I am a resident. God above all and I'm with the president. Trench after trench, you know that we heaven sent.
I got a mansion in heaven forever when I make it home. That blood money ain't no other price, I ain't selling my soul. Them blessings falling every day, I wake up, I can't count them alone. They fascinated by the money, but I'ma be walking on gold. Running up souls like a check, I be aiming at demons, ain't no respect. I remember when I was down living a mess. Keep that Bible on me cause this life is a test. I be praying different, moving like it was chess. And my gang different, Holy Spirit gon' flex. On that kingdom business, I ain't taking no rest. Ducking seeing shorty taking off like a jet.
Baby,